So let me just run through here. I said we'd go around 30 minutes or so, so we just have a little bit of time left for some case studies. And I wanted to share with you some of the companies that we talked to, and one of them here is Arby's. And of course, if you know anything about Arby's, they've made a pretty impressive comeback from just a few years ago. But they are cost conscious, although they don't really track costs, but they know enough not to spend a lot of money, and so they wanted to look for a cost-effective tool set, and that happens to be Remedyforce. And the thing that impressed me is when you walked into their computer or their IT room, you see all these monitors up on the wall, and you see all these statistics that they're monitoring, and they used a program called Tableau, which, again, didn't cost very much, but they were able to make it look like they had a very expensive tool set because they were doing a lot with it. We didn't really get to help them out too much. We did a little facilitation, help them just get started, but they were able, because of the ease of the software, to get up and in operation without too much trouble. For them, reporting was a really big deal, and as I mentioned before, with a Tableau application. Another customer, Remedyforce, which is much bigger, is a hospital located in central Pennsylvania. They have about 12,000 employees, so it's pretty good size. As you can see, it's about 300 seats of Remedyforce. They upgraded from Computer Associates, and they really haven't looked back. Now, these guys are a little bit more mature. They've got a lot going on, and continuous improvement's a very big deal to them. So metrics and tracking where they are, some of the other integrations they've done has made a big difference, and they're going to continue to stay very much, and they're going to continue to improve as a value center. Next customer here is National Vision, and they're an eye care retail outlet. And so if you were to go into a Walmart, chances are, not all of them, but chances are that you might see a National Vision store in the Walmart, and that's where you would get your glasses from. And they have about 900 stores nationwide. We're hosting everything, so in other words, they use Footprints. It's an on-premise-based solution, but they didn't want to hassle with the software and the administration and the service and everything else, so we're hosting that all for them, and it's worked out just fine for them. One of the things that they do that's a little bit unique is because customer satisfaction is very important to this organization. Every single store manager gets graded and gets a bonus tied to customer sat. So once the once the customer leaves the store and takes those glasses home, they're hounded to fill out an online customer sat application and score them. And once they do that, then again, if you have a lot of good scores, then you can make more money. So here's a pretty good example of a mission-critical application within Footprints that's used by this organization, National Vision. Another Footprints customer is Subway, and of course everybody has heard of Subway. At least there's not very many places on the planet that you cannot go and not be very far away from a Subway store, with 40,000 of them. The big value add here is this use of it's called BMC Client Management, formerly known as AssetCore, and they use that to download their POS software. And obviously, it's a mission critical. You want to make sure that if you're selling sandwiches, that the POS system is up, and so they keep these things fine-tuned and working pretty well. And couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, it was all done by memory sticks that they would send out, and that didn't go too well. And so now they're able to get these POS systems updated over the internet in 48 hours. And because Subway has this franchisee model, they don't have a company network or high-speed network to all these stores. They use the internet. And, given how different the internet is in different parts of the world, it's really working pretty well. So excellent value in terms of what Subway's been able to do. And then the final customer, and of course this is a Remedy user, is the House of Reps, and they've been a long-time customer of RightStar, almost for as long as we've been in business. And they were a beta test for the Remedy 9 product, and they recently went to Remedy 9.1, actually just over this past weekend. And again, they're using these, if anybody follows BMC, you're using these tools like Smart IT, My IT. There's a new product out now that's included called Smart Reporting. So there's a lot of really cool things in this new product, and everything is working well. The one other thing that you don't have to have, although knowledge management, if you're familiar with Remedy 9, is now sort of an integral part of Remedy 9, but they've really worked on their processes in knowledge management, and I really have to hand it to them. I happened to attend the Fusion show. I don't know if anybody you did, but they give out all these awards, and one of the companies that won an award was a company called ADP, and they won the award for what they were able to do with knowledge management. You can think of, well, how mundane is knowledge management? I mean, really? But they said that was the highest return on their investment of any ITSM rollout that they'd ever seen. So, there you go. We talk about value. It's right there staring you in the face. So as we kind of wrap things down a little bit here, I want to show you a picture of one of my favorite pictures anyway, and that's the Ferrari that's parked in the garage here. And obviously the takeaway here is let's figure out a way to get the Ferraris, or maybe if you don't have a Ferrari, you still have a Honda Civic, that's okay too, and you can get that out of your garage and onto the highway, and make sure you've got those guardrails in place, because the objective here is to become a thriver. And it's certainly possible. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a value center? If I go talk to a customer, I want somebody to say, "Oh, we're just doing a service desk because we kind of have to." That's not the right approach. Well, what else can you do? Well, there's a number of things. If you kind of start and work your way up from the bottom here, you can do assessments, health checks, and we can certainly help you with that. You can get this done relatively quickly. We certainly don't want to be viewed as a company that comes in and uses your watch to tell you what time it is. And we think that a lot of things that we do are relatively unique around this whole area here. We have some very packaged, we have some fixed price implementation offerings. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money, that's okay too. There's some things that you can do that are really just a lot of fun, like an ITSM simulation exercise. And who wouldn't want to have fun trying to get the astronauts back from space to Earth safely, and at the same time learn about the importance of integrated problem, incident, change, and configuration management. And you can really do that. So you talk about user adoption. If you want to get your teams really excited about a new rollout, for example, have some fun with this. And then finally here is we're partners with, as I mentioned before, MetricNet. And why not benchmark your system? It doesn't cost very much. You can get an ongoing idea of what you need to do to improve and where you stand relative to other companies in your space. And who wouldn't want to do that also? I mean, just to wrap things up, it's really an opportunity for you all to end up with a better system. Better, cheaper, and faster. That can become a reality. But it's going to take a little bit of hard work, and I'm very excited because I know that you too can move from a survivor to a thriver.